For centuries, humanity had followed a simple rule when it came to interstellar relations: patience. Humans had always believed in diplomacy, in understanding the needs of others, and in avoiding unnecessary conflict. Even when faced with injustice or cruelty from other species, Earth's leaders opted for peaceful resolutions, hoping that time and communication would fix the issues. But there was always a limit, and no one knew it better than the people of Earth. In the vast galaxy, humanity was a relatively young player. The Galactic Council, a massive organization that oversaw the peace and order of hundreds of species, had been in power for millennia. The Council's job was to ensure that the different species cooperated, shared resources, and helped each other thrive. But despite their noble intentions, many species had grown corrupt. Bigger, more powerful races took advantage of the smaller, more peaceful ones, and Earth, though advanced, was often ignored or belittled by these other species. The tipping point came when humanity's distant colony, New Hope, found itself under attack. Located on the edge of the galaxy, New Hope was a symbol of human ambition. It was a thriving colony, dedicated to peaceful exploration and scientific research. The people of New Hope had spent years building peaceful relationships with the various species in the sector, hoping to prove that humans could contribute to the galaxy in ways beyond war and weapons. But this all changed when the Kalor, a warlike species known for their ruthless nature, attacked the colony. The Kalor had long been a problem for the galaxy, but their raids were often ignored by the Galactic Council. They had a history of conquering weaker species, enslaving their populations, and burning entire colonies to the ground. It was their way, and New Hope, with its human settlers, was no exception. The Kalor ships appeared without warning. They destroyed the colony's defenses, bombed its cities, and captured its citizens. Despite the desperate calls for help sent to the Galactic Council, no immediate assistance came. The Council was caught in its own bureaucracy, debating what actions should be taken, unable to move quickly enough to prevent the devastation. On Earth, officials at the United Nations monitored the situation closely. Human leaders had long warned the Council that the Kalor posed a threat. They had asked for stronger protections for their colonies in case of attacks. But the Galactic Council had ignored their requests, claiming that such actions would disturb the balance of power. They had hoped that humanity's peaceful approach would be enough to avoid such conflict. It wasn't. The destruction of New Hope was a turning point. The people of Earth had tolerated insult after insult, manipulation after manipulation in the hopes that diplomacy would work. But now an entire colony had been wiped out, its citizens slaughtered or enslaved, and no one had lifted a finger to stop it. The patience of humanity, built on centuries of peaceful efforts, had finally reached its breaking point. In the halls of Earth's United Nations, leaders gathered in an emergency session. It was a tense meeting, with the fate of New Hope still fresh in everyone's minds. The Earth's representatives spoke with rising frustration, demanding that the Galactic Council take action. But once again they were met with political gridlock. The bigger species in the Council, such as the Ranish and the Telvans, argued that any military response would lead to further instability. They spoke of peace, of negotiation, but what was there to negotiate when an entire colony had been destroyed? Humanity's patience, which had been their strength for so long, was now their weakness. Time and again they had offered their hand in peace only to be rejected or ignored. This time, however, something changed. For the first time in history, the people of Earth were united in their determination to take action themselves. "We cannot wait any longer," said General Kira Vasquez, one of Earth's top military leaders. She had led numerous peacekeeping missions and had always advocated for diplomacy. But now she spoke with a fire that had not been seen in her before. "We cannot allow the Kalor to take more from us. Our people, our colonies, they're being wiped out. The time for talking is over. We will act." The United Nations, once a body dedicated solely to diplomacy, found itself in a position it had never faced before: a choice. To continue waiting for the Galactic Council, which had proven itself ineffective, or to take matters into their own hands. The decision was made swiftly. Humanity would not wait any longer. They would strike back. In the days that followed, the leaders of Earth gathered the brightest minds in science, technology, and military strategy. They would need to develop something that could turn the tide in their favor. The Kalor were a powerful race, and to defeat them would take more than traditional weapons. It would require ingenuity, cunning, and a unified effort from every corner of Earth. The project was codenamed Vanguard. It was a secretive initiative to develop new technologies, new strategies, and a new kind of weapon that could give humanity the edge they so desperately needed. Scientists from every nation worked around the clock, pulling together everything humanity had learned over the centuries. New breakthroughs in energy weapons, ship design, and artificial intelligence were rapidly put into use. The Vanguard's mission was clear: to infiltrate Kalor territory, destroy their war machine, and free the human captives taken from New Hope. It was a bold plan, but humanity had no choice. The longer they waited, the more lives would be lost. As the Vanguard team was assembled, General Vasquez took command. She knew that this mission would change everything. There was no turning back now. Humanity was no longer a passive player in the galaxy. They had decided to take control of their own destiny. The first strike came a few weeks later. A small elite squad from the Vanguard infiltrated Kalor-controlled space, launching surprise attacks on their supply lines. They destroyed key communications hubs, cutting off the Kalor from their main fleet. It was a small victory, but it sent a powerful message. Humanity was no longer waiting for the Council to act. Humanity was acting on its own. In the following months, more strikes followed. Human forces targeted Kalor outposts, disrupting their operations. The Galactic Council, still unable to make decisions quickly enough, began to notice the growing power of humanity. The species that had once been considered weak and passive was now striking fear into the hearts of its enemies. The Kalor were no longer confident in their superiority. The quiet hum of humanity's machines, their technology, their resolve, was growing louder with each passing day. Humanity had always been underestimated, but now the galaxy would have to deal with the consequences of that mistake. No one knew it yet, but the moment humanity's patience ran out would go down in history. The galaxy would never be the same again.